Welcome back, folks, here on the Believe in FCS Football podcast for our second episode of the week. Look at that, folks. We're doing 2 episodes in a week. It's like we're back in season. Sean, how are we doing today?
Compensating for something.
As if we're compensating. Yeah, so the reason why we're doing 2 episodes is, one, that we got a lot of questions, which is nice. And two, we also fumbled the shit out of information on the last episode. So I think a quick acknowledgement of some of those inaccuracies, Sean, might be nice to start the show off with. Should we wait to do that, or should we do that now?
No. Here's what I don't think. I think this is what we should do.
Yep.
We should call an all-out assault on the athletic websites being used and not updated nationally. Because
Yes.
admittedly, we can't be plugged in to 120, 132, however many there are now. We can't be as plugged in as we wish we could be with all of the transactions. So update your websites.
Or at least somebody put out
doing
the
our
information.
best.
So for context, what we're talking about, we did the Sam Houston State episode. We spoke a little bit ahead of ourselves, saying that they were going to compete for, I don't even remember if we actually said if they were going to compete for a playoff spot or not, but we were talking about how good that they were going to be next year. They are not eligible. That was our mistake on that part. Admittedly, not 100% familiar with the move-up process, so didn't know that was something that came into play. But the Eric Schmid thing pisses me off because, I thankfully somebody has the information. Sports of SHSU shot me a DM and kind of explained it to me. But Eric Schmid, who I actually freaking checked before the show. I spent more than 5 minutes. That sounds like I didn't put any time in. I spent a good amount of time digging around, looking for articles of confirmation of Eric Schmid is coming back as the starting quarterback at Sam Houston or not. I looked, and he's on the 2022 roster. But according to what I was being told to me on Twitter, is that he participated in the pro day, and he's probably not coming back, and it's going to be Shoemaker possibly as the likely starting quarterback. So, why the hell is the guy on the roster when we're trying to do our preview episodes? And anybody, this is why it's so frustrating to cover the FCS, Sean, because those that do it have some information, not a lot, and a lot of times that information is just not freaking right. And it's so goddamn annoying. But apparently Schmid might not be coming back. That pissed me off this morning. I was overwhelmed with other crap, and that just made me so mad when I saw that was something that we got wrong.
Yeah, we try to fly by the seat of our pants a little less than we would prefer to. We like to do it every now and then, but when we're trying to provide some type of accurate information or analyses on anything, it'd be good to have factual information, even though I don't know if we've ever considered ourselves a factual podcast.
No, well, we have no idea what we're talking about.
And people don't like that. I don't think they ever will.
I would like to point out that we've never said that we have the most correct information. We always say that we're the most entertaining. There's
yeah. Not the smartest, the most entertaining.
We're here for a good time.
Yeah, exactly. And so are you. And you know why? Because it's football and it's a sport and we all enjoy it, and we all also enjoy betting. Isn't that right, Joe?
I might get back into betting because now there's
don't lie to the listeners. Don't lie.
I think when the playoffs for NBA comes around, I got so frustrated. Somebody gave me a really good pick during the college basketball season. This is a guy who's a handicapper.
Who was it?
And no, it was oh my God, what the hell is his? I'm blanking on his name. Oh my God, this is gonna. Oh my God,
what was the pick?
It was in the middle of the season. It was UConn was going to beat Xavier, and he people pay him for betting advice, and he gave me this pick. And I put all of my money in my betting account on it, which wasn't a lot, but instead of using a little bit here and there on picks like I was doing, I immediately was out. So, that kind of killed my momentum because I was doing fine. Yeah.
I mean, it's not something I would always recommend. But if you know what you're doing and you know that you enjoy watching sports, it's something that takes that to another level. And you could do that at BetOnline. It's your number one source for all your betting needs and sports info and odds. If they had information on Sam Houston State's current roster, I'd go to them. That's something that I would prefer that they can start doing. Find all the latest sports developments, including this week's odds for the Masters Championship and the start of the Major League Baseball season. BetOnline is your continued source for all of your sporting wagering needs, including live betting and your favorite Vegas casino and poker games. It's super easy to get started, so join today. Learn why everyone is saying BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to wager on popular sports and games. BetOnline, where the game starts. BetOnline, where I will be placing a whole bunch of money for the Phillies to come in fourth in the NL East. I'm not buying into them. Joseph, I'm just.
You got Nick Castellanos this year, man. That's all I care about.
It's not even a shot at you. It's not because you're not a Phillies fan.
Yes,
so it's not even a shot at you. No,
yes,
you're like a Dodgers fan now, right?
I'm not. I only switched one team. One team.
Hey, you've talked a lot about them also.
Who, the Phillies?
The Clippers.
You
talk a lot about the Clippers for switching over as the team. I honestly
we don't
have
talk
had
about
more
basketball.
conversations with others about the Knicks than you have about the Clippers.
Talk about basketball. So like, why does it? Why I talk
Joe
about
switched over the Clippers and then
buddies.
acted like he was Clippers fan number one, and then he has never said a word about the Clippers to me since.
Because we don't interact as often as we used to. We also don't talk about basketball. We talk about other nonsense. But it was Brandon Lang was the guy who gave me the pick.
There you go.
Yeah. All right, Sean, let's get into today's topic. So the first one we have to address, we had some news that broke relevant to the FCS. So we have a new FCS team joining the ranks. Stonehill College in Easton, Mass will be competing in the NEC beginning in 2022. So we're adding another New England team that's probably going to get smoked.
I had some buddies that went to Stonehill. I'm Jake Fire, FCS insider.
You know who's a Stonehill football player?
Who?
Perry Shelbred.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, he's their starting
good
kicker.
For Perry.
Yeah, I hit him up this week. I asked him, like, how did you know that this was coming? And apparently knew a couple months out, but they weren't able to say anything. But no, he's excited.
What a little antagonist he was. Oh.
It's still one of my favorite people. So Perry was a backup kicker at URI, transferred to Stonehill, and now he's a Division I kicker again, which is freaking awesome. Makes me so happy that happened for him. Thoughts on that, though, Sean?
Got to learn more about Stonehill now. That's my thoughts. If you're wondering who my file is on Stonehill University, our college or University of Stonehill,
Stonehill College.
I'll do my best to brush up on them.
Is it Stonehill College?
Let's see here.
Oh God, they're the Skyhawks, which is probably one of the worst mascot names.
What? That's a great name, dude.
Skyhawks? That's just stupid.
Skyhawks rules. What do you? All right, Stonehill College.
Massachusetts, also one of the most overrated states.
Yeah, Boston's okay.
We also
Fenway isn't good for people my size.
No. We also have a conference realignment news update, but we're not going to. I hate when I'm getting texts too during the show, like you did yesterday, and I'm gonna lose my mind. Who is this? Who is this? I don't know who this
is. Joseph.
Okay, sorry. I'm just.
If people knew how wound up I was before this show started,
yes,
and now you're more wound up than me, they wouldn't believe it. They wouldn't believe the afternoon I had compared to you, and now you're all.
Oh yeah, I didn't do anything this afternoon. I was just working.
Am I a grumpy lad right now?
Yeah. Well, I can't
wait to answer some intelligent emails or tweets that have been sent in. I can't wait.
So the goal here, because we're a couple of idiots, we like stupid questions. And I said this last time, I'm going to pull for questions on Monday or Tuesday. And I think if time allows us, we're going to do 2 shows a week. One of those shows is going to be a mailbag. And if we can't get that second episode in, we'll just carry those questions over to the next episode the following week. Because these are evergreen questions. These are questions that we can just answer throughout the offseason. So I think our listeners enjoy that. The mailbag has always been a fun part of the show. So the first one from Kyler, me and him had a nice banter back and forth about the EWU outlook. But his question was, there are no more current FCS playoff participating teams that have made the semis in the last 10 years outside of the Missouri Valley Football Conference, CAA, and Big Sky, who each have 3 to 5 different teams make it. Which team from not those conferences love the wording, has the best chance at a semi-final run sooner than later. We were looking and kind of trying to come up with this, and Sean, you were kind of pitching a couple. I'm keeping this so simple. I remembered during the offseason, the recruiting cycle. The answer to this is Campbell in the Big South. Campbell had the craziest recruiting cycle. They finished 89th in the country. That includes FBS teams. They finished 89th. They got a 4-star safety in Miles Rouser. And then they got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 3-star recruits. And then they also had some transfers, and I it's not on 24/7 Sports, but I want to go check that after. But still, they had this obnoxious recruiting cycle. I think Campbell, man, is geared up to do some damage, not this year, but the following year when those guys are sophomores. They're going to be really freaking good.
I'll take your word for it. I kept on all of my suggestions got met with a blowtorch by Joe. He didn't like me mentioning Chattanooga. For some reason that really
is okay. You think they're semifinal good?
I'm just saying I said Sela and you did not like that one bit.
They lost Cole Kelly. So, what
they're a good program. I have offered up schools that I thought could make a run at it. I'm not offering up Nichols. I wouldn't do that. They have hurt me more than they have helped me. But basically, Joe is all sold in on Campbell. I have been trying to make a concerted effort to think outside the box, but
why is that?
Joe didn't like Jacksonville State. Joe didn't like Central Arkansas. Joe didn't like any of these.
Jacksonville State's losing Zarek Cooper. I think about who these teams are losing.
Teams lose players.
Okay, but when you lose your best player, it's kind of a big deal.
Teams lose players.
We lost players our junior year going into our senior year, and look how that turned out.
I understand how that turned out, but we cannot play the anecdote game anymore.
Not every team is North Dakota State that just reloads, or South Dakota State.
I am just saying I try to think of other solutions. Campbell, how good has Campbell been, Joe? How good have they
have
been?
A new coaching staff?
And have they been good?
They had the best recruiting cycle out of any FCS school. They finished 89th over tons of
I'm happy
FCS
for him.
programs.
I hope you're right. I hope Campbell comes in and starts mixing it up with all the big boys. I hope they do. I hope you're right. But God forbid Sean tries to pitch a school that maybe has made the playoffs recently.
You know what? There's always the
God forbid that actually happens. And there's always the is to catch fire.
Hack team that I pick that I will run into battle for. And Campbell is now.
I know why it's Campbell. Because they have a silly name, the Campbell Camels.
No,
I understand why.
It's because you're hating on them.
I am not hating on them.
You're a dickhead and you're hating on them. You're hating on them right now.
I'm not. I'm hating on the fact that every school that I pitched was met with an immediate, no shot.
Okay,
not a
wait.
How many 3-star recruits did they bring in?
Because the recruiting is college football.
I'm not going to deny that.
The two teams that competed for a national championship
when it
this
came
year
to meeting my
had the best recruiting
answers to this.
You know who's going to be good in 2 years at the FBS level? Texas A&M, because they had the best recruiting cycle. When you're a team like Campbell that's decent and you have a really freaking good recruiting cycle, you become really freaking good. That's how it works.
I'm sure they'll all stay too, Joe. I'm sure.
They have so many. They have 9. You lose 3 of them. You still got 6.
How much is stars equated ever? How much does it ever really equate?
Talent equates.
I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it from you.
More often than not,
I don't want to hear it from you about Campbell.
The best FBS teams that recruit the best are always the teams that compete for national championships. Ohio State, Alabama, Georgia.
Don't explain this to me like I don't understand the process of recruiting. Please don't do that. Please don't do that.
All right, let's get to the next question before we keep screaming at each other. Brendan decided to have some fun with the uppercase in this question.
I think I know why he did that in case you didn't.
No, I know that why he did that.
Why'd he do it then?
Because of Nick Massaroni. He literally said, Dustin Hilton said, I can't wait for Joe to read this on air, and Brendan indicated that he is also excited for that. I also indicated I'm excited to read it. Brendan says, what do you think about
Okay, there we go.
The Murray State addition to the Missouri Valley Football Conference? Secondly, who's your early favorite for the Walter Payton Award? So,
That's good shtick.
The emphasis is just on the worst words.
I think you think that was on purpose.
Yeah, it
I think
was.
Brendan's got a funny bone on him.
See, when Nick did it, he was trying to provide good emphasis so that when I read it, it was funny. But it's just awkward. Brendan, I want an upgrade. Next time somebody does this bit, I want a better job.
Did it come in a read? Is that why we did it? I thought when did I make you read in all caps?
It was Nick Massaroni the last time we did the mailbag commented and had a bunch of all caps, and I read it and you said that like I didn't read it properly.
I my bad. I got twisted up there.
Okay.
All right.
Murray State joining the Missouri Football Conference. I don't think it means anything.
No, it doesn't mean anything. I like Murray State, though. I've never had a problem with Murray State once. They are a school that is passionate about its sports. You can look at their basketball teams. They had a really good team this year in basketball. I know everyone just wants to go back and look at the John Morant year, but they had really, really good team this year. I remember cutting a lot of Missouri State games at work. Murray State, not Missouri State. Murray State. They'll do their best. I think they'll get in there. I don't know. I don't know what to expect there. They're going to change conferences. We have to see. This is all speculative. I mean, it's just that's what it is. We don't know until like week 3. That's when we can really determine how everything's going to shake up a little bit. Mm-hmm. Like looking at how it's going to go right now before camp, before all this other stuff, you just don't know because guys get hurt in camp. Oh, now all this stuff changes. Oh, he was left off the website. Oh, now we got to figure out, who's playing this position.
Maybe we should just, all of our episodes until camp starts should just be really vague and informationless so that we don't get tripped up.
Yeah, let's just do the Coach Talk podcast. That's what we should do. We're looking for a high ceiling, low floor, if you know what I'm saying, everybody.
This team's just got a lot of guys. a lot of dudes that are ready to come play ball.
Tell you what, we're going to play 4 quarters.
See, we do kind of do that when we're out of stuff to say. I know that we do that, and I admit that we do that. I've done that a couple times.
Sometimes you have to. It's the art of broadcasting.
I've done it a couple times on my radio spots this cycle because I've gotten to ask some really obscure questions about some guys, some prospects that I just don't know, and I'm just like, "Yep, great football player. He's gonna be a special teamer.
He's got a high motor. What do you think it attributes to that? Well, I can tell you if he's out there for 60 minutes, he's gonna play 60 minutes pretty hard."
Or my go-to is if it's a really awkwardly unathletic guy, I'm like, I'm sure he's gonna be a great special teamer.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
He's gonna come in day one, contribute on special teams. High
locker
motor.
room guy, first guy in, last guy out. Like, no, they can't all be first guy, last guy. That's not how it works.
No, but I mean, Murray State's such a mid-tier program. That's such a good point. I mean, maybe no one ever leaves the locker room. Maybe there's just those 2 guys that just never.
It's just a race to be first in, first out.
Right. Murray State. I mean, is it mid-tier program? Then moving to the Missouri Valley Football Conference, they're gonna get knocked
Missouri
around.
Valley Football Conference. Yep, that's right.
MVFC. The second question, though, who's your early favorite for the Walter Payton? We're probably going to do an episode on this. I think Sean, you gave this option. Shedeur Sanders. Jackson State, man, we see this lineage of guys winning the Jerry Rice and then eventually going on to win the Walter Payton. I see that happening. He looked fantastic last year.
It's very, very possible. I mean, he's got all the talent, and he's got a coach who believes in him, obviously, and he's got a complete culture change at Jackson State there, where they are just booming. So with all eyes on them, they seem to provide a very high-level offense, and when you got your eyes on you, you're going to have more voters saying, "Oh, look at this guy! Oh, he can actually ball. Oh, look at him. Oh, that's a good pass." And then he could very well end up with a true Walter Payton Award finalist season. And I don't know. There's probably gonna be some guys that come out of nowhere. It's how it always happens. There's gonna be some CAA quarterback that throws for a whole bunch of yards, a whole bunch of touchdowns that we didn't expect. I don't know. Is Davis Cheek still there, or did he graduate?
I think he graduated.
Okay,
I had somebody came into a Twitter space once and brought up Davis Cheek. Was not expecting that.
But I mean, I'm seeing here last year.
And it was not his brother, by the way.
He passed for, over 3,000 yards, 30 touchdowns, just 8 interceptions, rushed for 3 touchdowns. So you're looking at that 33. That's a 4-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio as a freshman. Stop making that face.
It wasn't intentional.
Holy hell, everybody. Again, it's 20 minutes, 20 minutes in. Go if you're listening audio wise, go to the YouTube page. What is the YouTube page under? Is it officially under?
It's Hack City.
Go to the Hack City YouTube page. Joe could not be bothered by me listing out some pretty good stats by Shadur Sanders last year as a freshman, and look at the face he was making at the 20-minute timestamp. You can skip the rest of the video. We're not doing anything else special if you're listening audio only. 20 minutes, Joe is making a ridiculously stupid face that just tells me he is glazed over and not listening to me.
So I got bad ADD, man. I'm probably undiagnosed.
What are you looking at?
Oh, I have no idea.
What were you looking at? Tell me what you were.
Literally nothing.
Is there a window in front of you?
No, I have a blank wall. I had a fun fact about my wall. I went on a date once, and we came back to hang out at my place after, and the first thing she said is, "You need something on your wall." I don't.
Yes, you do. Of course you do.
I mean, like,
you are.
Should I show the?
You are an American Psycho. That's you. No, you are. Yeah, show the wall. Let's see the wall.
This is gonna be very awkward.
Let's see.
I don't know if this is gonna work with everything plugged in. That's the wall.
So you're telling me
there's nothing. I have had nothing
Joe
hung
Putty,
up for a year.
How about you put something up in your apartment?
What do I hang up? I am not articulate enough to hang up a painting, and I'm
artistic.
No, articulate. Like, I feel like I'm not smart enough.
Where are you? What state are you from?
No,
never mind. Now, how about you put up a
I'm
nice
not putting
picture?
up a flag. I'm not.
No. How about you put up a nice picture in New York? Because you like acting like you're in New York.
That's not a bad. That's
yeah. How about you put up a nice picture in New York? Because there's no good pictures of Jersey, and then you go and you say, all right, this is something from. How about that? Nothing crazy.
I'll do it when I get to the new apartment.
Okay.
Which I'm moving in a couple of weeks. That was a tangent for the ages. I hope everyone enjoyed that.
Your American Psycho apartment is so annoying.
It's not American Psycho.
You are American Psycho.
I do lack a lot of furniture. I would argue the next apartment is going to be more American Psycho.
Boy, I can't wait to see it. We have another question, Joseph.
Yeah, we've got a couple more. Sorry to hold you. Chad asks top 5 candidates for national champions and why. Obviously, we're going to do an episode on this.
Campbell.
Not next year. In 2 years. This is just kind of like quick gut reaction names that we kind of rattled off. South Dakota State, North Dakota State, Montana State, Sacramento State, Missouri State, and UNI. I think those teams are returning a lot of key players. I think you could throw Southern Illinois in there too.
They're blue chip enough. I actually would put Southern Illinois on there also. Those teams are blue chip enough for us to say, okay, this is not just a football team. This is a program that has shown continuous success and at the very least competitiveness within their conference, their respective conference division. Where they're fighting and scrapping for the top every year. I don't know, Sacramento State had a couple down years. It doesn't matter. Those are the top candidates for national champions. I don't think you're going to get many hot takes. I think those have been exhausted already in the first 2 questions.
Yes. Okay, next question. The rabbit hole. This is kind of a stupid bit here. Sorry, man, for calling you out for that, but he says, do you pronounce it data or data? You answer this. I don't care.
Data.
Okay, data. Actually, I think I say data. I don't know what I say. It's like one of those things.
You say data.
Do I?
No, you don't.
Yeah, I don't think I do.
Don't eat.
I didn't think I do.
I catch you saying data.
Next question from Dallas. Most likely FBS upsets. Everyone loves to start speculating about that early. So Sean and I started going through the list of games, and I honestly, I would rather we do a deep dive on this. That's just me. We will answer this at some point. We did this last year. We did a deep dive episode on upsets, and I would like to wait to do that a little bit later in the offseason.
Can I give one?
Yeah.
I'll take William & Mary at Charlotte on September 1st.
Green and gold beats green and gold. Yeah, I like that one. I think because Charlotte's kind of mediocre program.
Yeah.
They were FBS for like a minute, or FCS for like a minute, I think. Or I don't even know if they were FCS. Goes to show how much we know about the sport that we talk about. Lawrence Smith asks, with JMU gone, who's your least favorite team and why is it new least favorite team and why is Holy Cross? I thought he asked who is your most favorite, so my response on Twitter is very stupid. It is still and forever will be Holy Cross is always my least favorite team.
Joe made me dislike Portland State last year. Let me think. I mean, there's a lot for me to dislike. I mean, because why wouldn't I? Holy Cross is just they're pointless.
Just got a DM from Reddit FCS, by the way.
What'd they say?
We'll be curious.
I'm sure it was positive. Actually, don't tell me. I'm terrified.
No, it was just we'll be curious how much shit you get from the Jackrabbits fans after the end of the latest episode.
Thanks. Presbyterian, because I mean, if you listened last year, you understand why.
I also just got a text from Ryan Humphreys of Sam Houston. Man, we pissed off a lot of people. All he said was unfortunately. That's literally all he said to me was unfortunately. Sorry, we're getting distracted here.
I have another least favorite here. The Citadel.
You don't like the Citadel? You're just trying to piss off FCS fan nation.
Right? I am. I know. I'm fine with the Citadel. Please, you're like our last allies. Please, dear God. Nichols, perennial disappointment for me, and they have cost me a lot, not in money but in scores and pride for FC estimates. So they are always they're just gonna rub me the wrong way. I mean, come on. Win the games you're supposed to win. You know, Central Arkansas can be in that group too for me. Let me know. I'll rattle through these. Tell me if you like any of them, right?
Sorry, I'm getting bombarded with just.
Are you not even listening to me?
I am listening. I'm just getting. I can't do more than one thing at once.
The text messages can wait. Cornell, you like Cornell?
Why are we going through? We're trying to pick up the least favorite team. I don't
I'm
like
kinda,
Harvard. I don't like Harvard, actually.
Kennedy's at Harvard. I can stick it out.
I have a strong disdain for Harvard because they were always dickheads when we played them.
Oh, was it because you couldn't get in?
Well, no, because there's the Hobbit hole, and then they always, they always cheap shotted Burke. They cheap shotted Monty on punt. They cheap shotted me. Like it was just like a spree of late hits.
Man, let's see. For CAA, least favorite team, I'll go Towson. Don't like Towson. Towson, least favorite in the CAA. Big South. Pretty cool with everyone in the Big South. Joe's going to make me dislike Campbell this year just because.
Good.
Favorite team in there is Kennesaw, obviously. And I'm pretty cool with everyone in the Big Sky. Weber State, don't particularly care for them just because disappointment after disappointment. And also FCS Busters also. So that I got a pretty long list here. Joe is going to stick it out with his Holy Cross hatred.
Yeah, I'm going to stick it out with the Holy Cross hatred. Great question, though. Last question from Aaron, and I like the kind of the tease here. Which school are you two going to visit this year, and why isn't it Brookings?
Would you learn how to read?
No. So I responded to her on Twitter, and I said, we're not going to announce this until probably the first week of August. I think that we're not going to go back to Brookings. It's all dependent on, I'm gonna say I don't think this is like breaking news. We're trying to go on we're trying to go to 2 games this year. That's the goal. It's kind of dependent on some stuff, some sponsorship stuff. We're trying to get some stuff figured out because we would like to expand our coverage a little bit, and there's some things that we're going to be working on during the offseason to allow for us to pay for going on 2 of these trips. I think if we do the 2 trips, I will allow South Dakota. I think we should allow South Dakota.
Joseph, we made a rule. We made a 1-year rule.
All right.
We made the rule.
Well, hopefully, if supporters of the show really like the show, eventually we can go travel every single weekend, and then we can go to Brookings once a year.
That'd be very nice. Love everybody in Brookings that we met. They were fantastic. We can't say that enough. Hopefully, we could say that about another school or another couple schools this year, but to space it out because of their rampant fandom to get people to their games, they won by a landslide last year. I'm sure they're still going to vote also this year. Yeah. They're very tight-knit on social media. So when the time comes, if you do want us to jackasses at your school having a good time with you and chopping it up.
Just share wrong information and
We'll do
barely
that.
know the rosters.
We'll do that with you all day. But you got to the social media. You got to see who's got the pull. You got to be able to do that and come together as a community to beat all other FCS schools, because that's what they did. They chalked that up to a win. They chalked it up to a win over Idaho last year. Chalked it up over North Dakota State. Everyone else. So it's going to be, that's kind of how they did it and how they operated. Maybe try to replicate that.
Yeah. No, we've
Joe's
got more.
Still texting during the show.
I'm
starting to get rather uptight about that.
I'm sorry, man.
Who was it?
No, it's still Ryan Humphreys. I found out I said something I wasn't supposed to. Now I have to go cut out something that I said.
Okay, that's a valid one.
No, but we would like to. I honestly want to go to North Dakota State and I want to go to Montana. Those are the top two, or Montana State.
I have no preference. I'll go wherever.
We'll see what happens. We've got some fun stuff planned, so stay tuned for that. Well, this was a fun first mailbag. Managed to go 30 minutes. I think we thought this was going to be 15.
Yeah.
Just goes to show that we can talk about anything for 2 hours. Sean?
Hack City on YouTube. It is Hack City. If you've seen Hack City pop up, don't unsubscribe. That's where we are.
We actually gained subscribers since the name change.
Fantastic. Well, that's where we are. We took a throwaway comment and we turned it into a whole brand. So enjoy yourselves, everybody. You are now officially hacks.
Yeah, you're citizens of Hack City. Thank you, folks. Drive safe.